Michigan! Todos ustedes son del equipo de béisbol de la Universidad de Michigan. ¿Estás listo para divertirte? Okay. A Michigan decimos vamos azul. En tres. Vamos azul en tres. 1, 2, 3. Perfecto, perfecto. Okay.
Bueno.
Tenemos 10 estaciones aquí. Okay.
Good Spanish.
Podamos practicar mucho hoy. Okay.
A ver si Gonzalo familia.
Muy bien.
Ey, está frío con él.
Mira. Blue. All right, blue. Good, attaboy.
Boy. Oh, hey, Jordan. What's happening, Jordan? What's happening? Oh, that's right.
Kale.
All right, we're here with Joe Donovan, catcher, freshman for the University of Michigan. And we're just going to be talking about our trip to the Dominican Republic this fall. Now, Joe, tell me what were your expectations before going on this trip?
My expectations before going on the trip were just to go down there and play some good competition and eat some great food and experience the culture that we were going into. I was expecting to be in a little bit different of a situation as far as the town we were going to be staying in, but being where we were, it was just a fantastic experience and really got to find out a lot more about Dominican culture.
That's awesome. Now, Joe, have you ever been in such an impoverished country before?
Not quite to that extent. I've been in parts of Mexico where it might mirror something close, but I think the geography of the area that we were in really magnified the poverty, just as far as an aesthetic sense. But I don't think I've ever been into towns or areas that have been hit by poverty quite as hard as that was. It was an eye-opening experience, to say the least, to be there.
Joe, tell me about the community service we did down in Santo Domingo.
Some of the community service that we did was we put on a youth clinic for some of the young kids in Boca Chica, which was the town that we were staying in. We set up kind of stations and rotated the kids through and helped them work along in their baseball careers, maybe teach them a few skills and have some fun while we were down there. And also we went into the name of the town is escaping me, but we went into a pretty impoverished area, and we walked around, and some of the locals kind of showed us around there and just showed us really the conditions that these people are living on and some of the needs that they have. And we were originally scheduled to help some of the residents of the town paint their houses, just to cover up some rust and just add a little bit more of a liveliness to the community that these people were living in, and just kind of break the monotony of their daily routine for them. Because one of the things that they, as far as what they communicated to us that they really appreciated, was us coming in and taking a look at where they're living and help in any way that we could. And it just really seemed that all the kids and everybody that was there on a daily basis really appreciated us being there. And I know our whole team was really disappointed that we couldn't do more and give more, but just being able to do a little bit of anything was really nice.
Now, what did the community service mean to you particularly?
The community service to me, I guess that's a little bit tricky because I would have wished that I was able to do a lot more and do something maybe a little bit more substantial as far as what we were able to give to the residents of the community and how we were able to impact their lives in a different way, because personally I feel like there were some things that were higher on the list of necessity for these people than having their houses painted. But like I said, anything that we were able to do helped them. So it was really good in that aspect to help them out with what they were doing.
That's awesome, Joe. And what was your favorite part of the trip?
Ooh, my favorite part, I really enjoyed the bus rides. And I know it's kind of a weird thing to say, but I really enjoyed seeing how the cityscape changed from when we were in a big city like Santo Domingo or Boca Chica, where there's a higher a higher impact on tourists and the money that tourists are bringing into those communities. So I really enjoyed seeing how the cityscape and the landscape changed as we went out. It was kind of like a working Von Thunen model.
Hey, we're here with Jeff Criswell, pitcher, junior for the baseball team at the University of Michigan. Jeff, how are we?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. All right, Jeff. Tell me about your expectations before going to the Dominican Republic this fall.
I wasn't really sure what to expect going into the trip. I mean, I've traveled to different countries before, but I'd never been on a trip to the Dominican, so I knew we were going to be able to interact with some other players that were from the Dominican and kind of experience some of the culture. So, you know, I kind of had a little bit of an idea of what was going to happen, but like I said, I wasn't really sure.
All right, Jeff. Tell me about the community service we did and what that meant to you.
It was a pretty eye-opening experience being able to do the community service. We got to kind of see how the everyday person in the Dominican lives and kind of the hardships that they face every day. And, you know, it just makes us pretty fortunate for the stuff that we have here, both at home and here at the University of Michigan.
Yeah, I agree, Jeff. So what do you think about, because, you know, the Dominican is coined a baseball factory. What do you think about those players who become major leaguers who grew up with so much less than your average American little leaguer?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. We held a youth camp down there, and, you know, players would show up with no gloves, no bats, no helmets, no shoes even, and, you know, they just wanted to go out and play and have fun, and they, you know, you could really tell that they had a true passion for the game and a love for the game, and, you know, I think that's just what takes them to the next level. And I also think that, you know, since they come from nothing, they have a lot to work for, and, you know, they set the standards pretty high, and, you know, they're some of the hardest working, you know, young players that we've seen, and, you know, they're just overall really good kids, and I think that's what, you know, helps them be successful.
Yeah. Jeff, what was your favorite part of the entire trip altogether?
I think the favorite part for me was being able to pitch at the Mets complex down there. we get to see some pretty young, talented players and play against them. And just being able to see kind of the Mets facilities and see some of the other professional organization, to see some of their facilities, it was pretty cool. And just interacting with the players, just being able to talk to people, and just share our love for baseball down there was pretty awesome.
That's awesome, Jeff. Thank you so much.
No problem.